earth, no name, wet clay beneath a shaping hand, thumbprint pressed along my ribs, folded, kneaded strand by strand, no pulse, just the silence of a body still unplanned. Then warmth against my face, a breath I never asked for came. Flooded lungs like rain fills stone, and the clay first learned its name. Blood began to push through ribs, marrow settled in the bone. I opened what I did not know were eyes, saw a light that had no name. I breathed back what was breathed in me, in the ground beneath me changed. Dust and breath, dust and breath, dust and breath. I am dust and breath, living soul. Dust and breath.
You stretched the sinew tight across the frame. Pulled the tendon through the groove of bone. Wrap me up in something I can't shed. A cage I carry but I call it home. Fenced with bone. Clothed with skin. You hinge the elbow, set the wrist to turn. Wove the knuckle ridges one by one. Every joint a door that swings both ways. Every rib a wall against the sun. Fenced with bone. Clothed with skin. Skin, the first wall. Flesh, the second. Bone, the fence that holds me in. Sinew, the thread that ties it shut. You built a fortress out of what will break and called it good. I press my thumb against the wrist and feel the tendon shift like rope beneath the sail. This body's not my own, it's on alone. A borrowed house with blood beneath the nail. Fenced with bone. Clothed with skin. Fenced with bone. Clothed with skin.
I held my tongue into the jaw locked tight. Swallowed every word he put inside. But the marrow cut the flame before the mouth, and the ribs became a furnace I can't hide. Fire in my bones. Fire in my bones. Shut up. I was weary, keeping still. Fire in my bones. I tried to hold the burning at the core. Bit my lip until the blood ran warm, but the word don't sleep, it turns inside the chest. Like an ember that becomes a storm. Fire in my bones. Fire in my bones. Shut up. I was weary, keeping still. not stay. I could not stay. I could not. Fire in my bones. Fire in my bones. Fire in my bones. Let it out. I was really keeping still. No more. Fire in my bones. Fire in my bones.
I count the vertebrae along my spine. 26 stones stacked before I woke. Somebody threaded nerve through everyone before the first word in me ever spoke. What hands are these that built me while I slept? The lung expands exactly as it should. The blood finds every capillary road. The iris opens to a width of light. My body carries what it wasn't told. What hands are these that knew me before birth? You saw the marrow forming in the dark. You numbered every hair before the crown. You wrote me in a book I'll never read, and every page was finished coming down. Fearfully made, fearfully made. My soul knows it well. Fearfully made, fearfully made. Fearfully made. Fearfully made. Fearfully made. My soul knoweth right well.
It came without a warning, came without a sound. Passed through skin like nothing there was real. Split the joint from socket, pulled the marrow clean. Show me what the body tries to seal. Quick and powerful, sharp as any blade, dividing what I thought was one. Joints and marrow, soul and spirit torn apart. Nothing hid beneath the bone, The word finds what I've worn. I built the walls inside the quiet rooms where motive sleeps beside its alibi. But the blade don't stop at muscle, doesn't rest at bone. It reads the marrow like an open eye. Joints and marrow, joints and marrow, soul and spirit torn apart. Nothing hid beneath the bone, beneath the bone. The word finds what I want, what I want. The sword found where I lie. The sword found where I hid. The sword found where the spirit ends and the soul begins. Joints and marrow, joints and marrow, soul and spirit torn apart. Nothing hid beneath the bone, beneath the bone. The word finds everything, everything, everything.
What do I bring to the altar? A stone, not the lamb was always him. Not the grain I own will feel to sow. What remains when all the gifts grow thin? He asked for what I cannot buy. He asked for what I wear. My body, the altar, my breath, the flame, a living sacrifice, still breathing on the stone, the stone, the stone, the stone. I lay my hands still warm upon this slab. I lay my ribs that rise and fall with air. The offering that bleeds but doesn't die. The sacrifice that knows it's lying there. My body, the altar, my breath, the flame, a living sacrifice, still breathing on the stone, the stone, the stone, the stone. The stone is cold beneath my spine. My shoulder blades rest in the groove where 1,000 bodies lay before. And I am warm, and I am still, and I am here. My body, the altar, my breath, the flame, a living sacrifice, still breathing on the stone, still here, still here, still breathing on the stone. Still breathing on the stone.
The shoulder left his socket in the night. The wrist gave out, the elbow wouldn't hold. I am poured across the ground like water spills. My body came apart the way I'm told. Every hinge has come undone, and I cannot gather what I was.
My heart runs down like candle wax through ribs. My tongue is stuck, I taste the clay again. The strength that held the frame is dried and cracked. Like pottery that shatters without rain.
I count the bones from where I lie, and none of them are where they should be. The jaw, the wrist, the knee, the spine, all loose, all wrong, all mine, all mine. While they stare at what's become of me. They count my ribs beneath the skin. They pierce the hands, they pierce the face. And I am still breathing. Still breathing. This temple I let fall. Bought with blood and built with bone, and I let the roof cave in. I let the pillars lean, I let the mortar crack. I dragged the altar out and left it in the rain. The Holy Ghost still walks the corridor at night. Through dust and fallen beams, he calls my name. This temple I let fall. Bought with blood and built with bone, and I let the roof cave in. The ribs are still the walls, the spine is still the door, the skull is still the dome above the throne. The price was paid in full before the ruin came. This body's not my own, it's on a loan. But the ghost still walks. The ghost still walks through every crack and fallen stone. He walks, and he is not leaving. This temple I rebuild. Bought with blood and built with bone. The ghost still walks these halls. The first blood hit the ground and screamed for war. It called for vengeance from beneath the soil. A brother's cry that rang through every age. The earth still carries Abel's stain and toil. The blood speaks. The blood speaks. Better things than these. But there's a second voice that fell like rain. It hit the wood, it hit the stone, it hit the ground. And where the first blood cursed, the second blessed. It speaks, and mercy is the only sound. The blood speaks. The blood speaks. Better
not cry for vengeance. I do not call for debt. I speak the word that Abel's blood could never say. Forgiven, forgiven, forgiven. So when the ground remembers what was spilled, and tries to pull the old cry from the deep, there is a voice that meets it at the root, and the blood speaks, and the earth can sleep. The blood speaks. The blood speaks. Better things than these. Better things. The blood speaks. The blood speaks. Better things. Better things.
He set me in the valley, bones for miles. Dry as stone, as old as anything unnamed. The skulls looked up like bows left in the dust, and every socket stared without a flame. He asked me one thing only, one question and no more. Can these bones live? Can these bones live? Can these bones live? Prophesy! Speak to the valley, speak to the dead. Can these bones live? Live! I opened up my mouth, the word fell out. It hit the ground and every femur stirred. The ribs began to find them missing halves. The spine stood up like soldiers at the word. Bone found bone across the valley floor. The clicking sound of 10,000 locks. Can these bones live? Can these bones live? Can these bones live? Prophesy! Speak to the valley, speak to the dead. Can these bones live? Live! Bone to 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 bone bone to bone to bone bone to bone bone to bone to joint to joint bone to bone to bone to bone. Sinew stretch from rib to rib, and then these bones live. These bones live. These bones live. Hear the word. Speak to the valley. The valley speaks back. These bones live. 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 Felt the absence first, a rip, a hollow underneath the left side wall. The space where something was and isn't now.
A room inside me missing since the fall.
Something taken,
something given back.
I woke and felt the shape of where I came. A curve that fits a hollow I have never seen. I carry half a sentence in my chest, the other half is somewhere in between. Something taken,
something given back. I know your frame because it's mine.
I know your bone because I held it.
You were taken from the place I sleep,
And I have felt the empty since.
bone of my bone,
Bone of my bone,
flesh of my flesh.
flesh of my
I
flesh.
know you,
I have always known.
bone of my bone,
Bone of my bone,
bone of my bone, bone.
bone of my bone, bone of my bone,
Bone of my bone, bone.
bone of my bone. My bone.
The fracture lines still run along the frame. I feel them when the cold sets in at night. But something underneath the break has changed. The marrow's catching what might be the light. I've worn these broken bones so long, I forgot they once could sing. These bones rejoice, these bones rejoice, these broken bones rejoice, rejoice. Make me hear the joy again, the joy. These bones rejoice. The knee that buckled learns to bend in prayer. The jaw that clenched now loosens for the song. The hand that struck the wall now opens wide. The body that was wrong is not past strong. These bones rejoice, these bones rejoice, these broken bones rejoice, rejoice. Make me hear the joy again, the joy. These bones rejoice. You broke what needed breaking, you set what needed setting, and now the cracks are where the gold comes through. And I am not the same, but I am still, and I am yours. These bones rejoice, these bones rejoice, these broken bones rejoice, rejoice. I hear the joy, I hear it now, hear it, I hear it. These bones rejoice. Make me to hear joy and gladness. Let the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice.
dust remembers what it was before. The clay recalls the hand that shaped its side. But something new is moving in the frame. A green thread where the fracture used to hide. The bones don't break the way they used to break. The joints don't ache with every turning year. Something's growing underneath the scars. The marrow hums, and I can almost hear. I was dust, I was clay, I was fire shut inside the bone. I was poured out, I was broken, I was a temple and a ruin and a field of dry bones. And now I flourish. The bone grows green beneath the skin. The marrow warms like spring below the frost. My body is not what it was, not what it was. But nothing that was given has been.